miss meetings. And if people miss meetings, let's learn to help them know what's going on. All right. So welcome everyone. We are working on the content creation sprint. A sprint is basically a race, a quick 100-meter race or something fast. So content creation sprints are just someone showing you how they create content. And today I won't just be showing you how I create content because I think I've done that multiple times. I'll be talking to you about the content creation mindset and how doing certain things helps you create better. When we're creating content, it's about making decisions that work for us. Everybody makes decisions every day. So we're going to have to make decisions and plan certain things so we know what days we are busier, what days we are freer, and how we can create time for what's important to us. To me, what's important is not just us creating content and pushing it aside, but understanding that every single thing we do leads to us putting our brands out there. So I'll be talking in a bit that is a bit generic, and I want everybody to understand that whether you have a podcast, you're selling a product, you're hosting tournaments, you have workshops, you are selling online and you want to connect with people. So when I say, what do you sell, and ask certain questions, it's just showing you, it's just talking about you and how you want to be seen. So what you want to do today is, how do you do it yourself? How do you create content that does exactly what you want it to do? So for the brands you're representing, if you're representing the brand, you answer the question with regards to that brand. But the first question you have to ask yourself is, do you want to make money? Do you want to get attention? So it's a yes or no. There's no maybe. Is that what you want to do with what you're doing online? Do you want to make money for the person that you are creating for? Yes or no? You can unmute yourself, or you can let me know in the comments, in the chat, by just writing yes or no. You have to answer that question. It's something that you must answer. If you don't want to make money, or you don't care about anything, you're just posting your diary for everybody to see, then no one wants to make money. I like this group. Then we can all go home, because it seems everybody is very serious tonight. No one wants to make money online. Oh, Dante, sorry, I'm just seeing your message. So do you want to make money online? Yes or no?
Yeah, I want to make money.
Okay. All right. Another question is, how often do you want to make money? Do you want to make money every other day or every day if it's possible? Do you want to get attention? Do you want people to listen to your podcast every other day or once in a while? What's your plan? If Timei, Comfort, everyone on the call, you guys have to, they're representing the brands that you're posting for. So do you want the company that you're creating for? Sorry?
We want them to make more money.
You want them
Get
to make
more.
money? Yes. And how often do you want them to make money? Monthly, daily, yearly, or just every year they make one sale? Or how often do you want your clients to sell? So what we want to do today is understand why we need to show up for our brands, understand why we need to sell, and understand that if we want to open up for people to buy from us daily, we must sell to them daily. We cannot leave it to nature to just blow breeze and then our products can appear in front of people. Rather, we want to create a situation where whatever brand we have created for or brand we represent, we are selling to them. We understand certain business fundamentals, and we're able to plan content that would help them in the way that is possible. And these are the fundamental questions I want everybody to answer by themselves. You need to answer these questions. You're not leaving it to accident. You're not leaving it to chance. You're not second guessing yourself. You want to be clear. Why should people trust you? We always talk about the fact that content creation, as a social media manager, as someone that is creating content, as a brand, we want people to know us, like us, and trust us. Why should people trust you? Can you answer that question? If you can't, you need to start thinking about what the answer is. Why should people trust the brand you're representing? Do you have a good track record? Do you produce good products? Do you deliver services? What do you do that makes you trustworthy? It's a question that will help you create content for your clients, because you are not going to tell them why they should trust you. You will not say, this is why you should trust me. But by telling stories, you're able to tell customer stories or explain how your service works. Or we have been giving, if you're a restaurant, we have a 5-star restaurant, we do this. We've hosted, we've planned the wedding for Dele Momodu or someone else. You've done something incredible that could help people trust you, but you need to write out why people should trust you. So for the brands you're representing, why should people trust those brands? What is it about them that makes people them? Why should they buy from you? What makes you irresistible? So why should they buy from your clients? You need to answer these questions now. Don't try and answer them later. Answer these questions now. Why should they buy from you? What makes you irresistible? Why should they buy at the price you are selling? I'm selling something for 5 naira. Why should you buy from me and not from Iya Basira? What makes me credible? Why should they trust you enough to buy from you? Why should they listen to your podcast? Okay, you are a podcaster, you blah, blah, blah. You have a podcast. People should listen to podcasts because they want to improve their knowledge. It helps them learn. We need to have a culture, a learning culture. But why should they listen to your podcast? And do you even listen to other people's podcasts to know how podcast listeners are? Why should they buy from you? Why should they attend your event? Why should they sponsor your event? You need to have the answers to these questions before you can start creating or selling. And if you're putting them in the comments, we'll read them and see how these answers, where these answers are credible responses. But why should they buy from your clients? You're representing the client as a social media manager. If your client sells turbans, why should they buy your turbans? Are your turbans fire resistant? Are they rumple free? What makes your turban special? The next one is, why should they buy at the price you're selling? Oh, my cost is for 20 pounds or 50 pounds. We're having a price change policy. But why should they buy at the price you are selling? Before you start creating content, you need to answer these questions. You need to know why they should buy from you, why they should trust you, and why they should buy at the price you are selling. And we have to find ways to ask clients, why should they listen to podcasts? They should listen to podcasts because you have podcasts that are good, or you have a podcast that interviews, that talks about uncomfortable conversation. And what are you selling? You're selling an episode. Why should they listen to that episode of that podcast that you've recorded? That is what you are putting on your paper or when. And please be taking notes as we're discussing, because this is supposed to be something that you are doing as we go. I will repeat, why should they trust you? Why should they buy at the price you are selling? And why should they buy at the price you're selling? Why should they buy now? What kind of urgency are you creating? I know that you've done outfits for Nigerian movies. That makes you credible. I know different people have worn your outfits and they've shouted you out. Okay, it shows that your price may be good. But why should I buy now? What is that sense of urgency that you can create? Oh, I sell gas cylinders. Why should I buy from you now, not later? Okay, we have payment plans that you can pay for your gas. We have this wallets that we've created, which is something, Gloria, you should note that we have this wallet that people can pay in and what they call it, top up, and they just get gas cylinders on the voucher or on the wallets or the points that they have. Why should they buy now? Are you offering a discount? Are you creating a sense of urgency? Will they miss out? Why now and not later? Because if you tell someone, most of the time when you go to people's shop, they want you to buy immediately because they know once you get out, you may change your mind or you may spend the money on someone else. So when you are selling online, you need to understand that you are not the only one selling to your audience. People don't come to social media to buy. because now we're talking about selling for either monetary attention or money or attention. People are paying you in two currencies: money, attention. Money, they are buying something from you, either a good or service that they get. Attention, they are listening and consuming what you've created. Why should they listen now and not later? What is that sense of urgency that you are going to create for your podcast, for your blog, or for whatever you are doing? Those are things about it. And one thing everybody needs to know, and you can take a screenshot of this page and answer this question. Think about what makes you different in the market. It's not about blending in, it's about standing out. Branding is about intentional differentiation, being intentional about being different. You are not allowing opportunities to pass you by, but you are being conscious of who you are and how you show up and how you show up differently. So if you think about if you think about the fact that certain people buy Apple products, they buy Apple products. No matter what, they would buy the Apple products. But there are certain people that would not, they are Android people. But those two brands are different. How can you be different? What makes you different in the market? How can you be intentional about standing out differently in the market? It's about being intentional about being different. And we're streaming to YouTube, so you can listen later. Why you are no one else? Why should they buy the abaya from your clients and no one else? Why should they buy meat from your store and no one else? Why should they employ you as a social media and no one else? This question may seem like it's not important, but having the answers to these questions helps you write your promotional post very well. Promotional posts are posts, what we call posts that sell what you do. So if you have a course that you've created, you are selling that course, but you may have a YouTube channel. You tell people to subscribe to your YouTube channel. If you may tell people to sign up for your newsletter, all those things are referred to as promotional posts. Promotional posts are posts that promote what you do. So when you are thinking of your promotional post, I'll recap. You're thinking about why people should buy from you, why they should buy at the price you're selling, why they should, so if you have a YouTube channel or you have an Instagram live, why they should come for that live session that you are creating and not go on Cardi B's live. Why you and no one else? Sometimes we just throw it to accident and we're like, oh, come. If I create it, they will come. How do you create content that will pull them towards you? Because you're pulling people in. How do you want to do that? It's about being different. So why you and no one else? This helps you start creating content differently. And this is what I wrote here, just a summary. Think about what makes your company unique and different from the competition. What are you offering that no one else is in the market can provide? What I want you to do is do a brain dump and write a paragraph on why people should visit your page, the page you are managing, the page you are creating. Why should people visit your page? Include specifics about what sets you apart from others. And the pointers that we will go back to, because what sets you apart from others are the fundamentals, which is you want to make money, you want to sell your course, you want people to tune in. Knowing that you want to do this, you need to know yourself better than any other person. So you need to determine why people should trust you, why they should buy from you, why they should buy at the price you're selling, why they should buy now, and what makes you different. Why you and no one else? If you and another store are side by side, why should they come to you and no one else? You need to know these. I'll pause for a while to see if there are any questions before we go to my own content creation process. Does anybody have any questions or need clarification on any part? Or I could ask if nobody has a question. All right. Gloria, for the brand you're representing, why should people buy from you and no one else? You have a competition that is stealing your competition ideas, your content ideas. What makes you different from that person? Why should they buy from you and not from him? And don't say because he stole your content ideas. You have to be you have to be more specific. All right, go try. Okay. Gloria, do you want to type if you can't type?
Okay, Ma, can I type?
Yes.
I think all right.
Okay. All right. Does anybody else want to try? Why should somebody visit your page? Think about it. Why should people come to you? No one else. So why should they come to a page that you manage? Why should someone come for your course? All right, Anthony, you want to try?
Yeah, I could say because of my experience, because of my story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it tells because my page tells a lot about what I've been through and what I've done, and I can sell that to them, and they can learn a lot from my page. Visit my page. Is that enough? Is that good enough reason?
It's a start, but it's this. So your
Okay.
story is compelling. Emma said my pop-up was covering. Your story is compelling, yes. Oh, I have a story. I want to help people that are struggled with this. I'm telling my story and I'm telling other people's stories by having them as guests on my podcast. That is appealing. Then, but what else? Are other people telling stories? Do other people have podcasts that they're telling other people's stories? What makes your own story different is you're telling your story from a perspective of what you bring to the table. You're not living other people's experiences. It's your own lived experience that you are sharing. And from how you've been able to transition, you want other people to avoid the pitfalls that you got into when you were transitioning to get it from your football career to the career you have now. So yes, it's compelling and it's a good start because if people come to my page, they feel relaxed. They know that, oh, they will get this type of content. They will learn about productivity. They will learn about content creation. But I'm not the only one that does that. So we have to understand why people come to us and no one else. This is not something that we leave to accident. It's something we need to define. The reason I started with that and then go straight into this thing is because you can just say, listen to my podcast and go away. You can say, oh, I have a course that teaches people how to speak Igbo and go away. But is that enough to keep someone's attention? We need to know why people should trust us and no one else before we even start creating. Because if you were not the one, okay, if you were not the one running your page, would you visit it the way it is now? Would you follow? Will you turn on notification for yourself with the content that you are currently creating on your page? If your answer is no, that is a very good answer because then you can make changes. If your answer is yes, now take it a step level or this with someone that is above you. See your page and recommend your page to someone. If your answer is no, then you know that you want to improve your page because you start with your page before you go to a website or anything. Most of us just have our Instagram pages here and we're not really pushing traffic to the website. So we're either selling products, about to start selling courses, or have certain things that we want people to buy into. So this is how what I do. But Anthony, thank you very much when it comes to content creation. And I said, do it yourself. Is that what DIY branding is? Most people here are what are referred to as DIY entrepreneurs, are people that are doing it themselves. They do not have the ability to get others to do it for them, probably because of the financial aspect, but because getting somebody else to do it, you will also have to make yourself available to explain to the person. So you may just want to do it yourself as you're building the foundation for your business. So that's why I call DIY entrepreneurs, because you have to do it yourself. No one else is coming to do it for you. So this is what I do when I want to post. I first of all, step one, I talk about it all the time. It's about creating time to create. And I'll pause here for a few seconds. One thing most people say is, I don't have time. I am busy. I am overwhelmed, I am stressed. There's just no time to do it. But time will not create itself. From your time is not going to expand because I now have okay, because I have more work to do. I need 48 hours. Is that going to happen? No. What will rather happen is that you still have the same 24 hours and you'll still be overwhelmed. And if in 2020, 2021 and 2022, you've been saying you want to work on certain projects and you're still overwhelmed, then it's time to change the way you look at time and look at how you can create time from the time you have to do what needs to be done. And that's what I call create time to create. And it involves a few steps. First of all, I define what I have. So I'm crystal clear on what I have. So my obligations, my schedule. Oh, I have to go to church. Every day I have co-working sessions. That's 2 hours co-working sessions. I may need to prepare for that. I may need 1 hour to prepare and 1 hour to wind down. So that's 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the evening. That's already 6 hours of the day gone. Then I think about the fact that in order to do that, I also need to prepare my meals. Every single thing you do for the day, write it down. If it's not written, it doesn't get done. Whether it takes you 1 hour to do your makeup, write it down. You may say that it's irrelevant. It actually is not. My process is quite simple. By defining what I do already, I can see on a piece of paper when I keep my time log where I am spending time and where I am investing time, because the time is not going to come from nowhere. So we need to say, how can we steal pockets of time? For example, if you work a 9 to 5, that means you're on your desk from 9 to 5. That doesn't mean that you leave your house at 9 and come back at 5. So you work a 9 to 5, you're on your desk from 9 to 5. It takes you like an hour to get to work. It takes you an hour to get back from work. That's 2 hours added to that. So you know the amount of hours that have gone into that. But before that, you have to prepare for that. You have to shower, get the kids ready, get ready. All those little things that you do, write them down. If your kids have to go for sports games, write them down. If you have to do homework club, any single thing that needs to be done needs to be written. Church, if you are a member of the choir and you have to go for choir practice, put it down, schedule it on your calendar. If it is not scheduled, it doesn't get a place. Let's work with the calendar we have. So we define all the activities we have. So I, for instance, if I'm a social media manager managing a team of 4 or 5 people, and everybody is managing a brand and we get projects, those are new brands that we'll work on, that we just work on their social media strategy and go away. I need to understand all the activities that are involved in that task. So I understand that, okay, I have to do my competition analysis. I have to do, remind me, content generation. I have to do different things. I need to schedule every single thing that needs to be done on my calendar. So then I determine what I can delegate or outsource. If I can't do it, I either delegate it immediately. So we define what we are going to do. We delegate the things that we know that we can push aside. If I can't do this and somebody on my team can do it, I will allow the person to do it. If in church they say, can anybody bake cake? And you know that you always bake the cake, but this time around you are not able to do that. You say, oh, I can't do it this time because I have other things to do. So you are not taking on extra responsibility, but rather you're preparing yourself to create time. So if they say somebody needs this, you're not volunteering for anything. You are making sure that you are able to control your calendar and not let your calendar control you. Then there are certain things that we have to ditch. Ditch means to let go, throw away. All right, what are we ditching? What are we not doing? What are we saying yes to? What are we saying no to? We're going to have to say no to quite a lot of things. I say no to a lot of things and say yes to myself. Saying yes to going for drinks at night, if you're someone that drinks and you have projects that you're working on, with other people that are chasing their dreams, or going for someone's show that the person is chasing their dream. Nehemiah in the Bible tells us that I am building my wall. There are certain times you have to say no to activities. Find out what you want to ditch. I can't tell you what to ditch. Then I make a date. I go ahead and say, all right, for example, when I am doing certain things, I know that these are the meetings I have. I have a 3-day intensive with somebody. I need to meet my mentor. I put those dates on the calendar. So if someone calls me during the day, because most people assume that freelancers are free, so they can just call you to while they wait time, while they may be on holiday, or someone from Nigeria comes from holiday and they want me to do certain things for them. But because I have given myself appointments on my calendar, even if no one else is going to see it, I will make that appointment. I would meet the appointment. I would ensure that those appointments are met. And then when we're going to talk about putting dates in a little way for your content calendar in a while. But then this becomes my process. I know that, okay, I have to research, I have to review, I have to reflect, I have to rest, then I have to resume. So I could say, I want to resume, I want to write. All these things will not appear on the calendar by themselves. So I will schedule time to read if I want to read, schedule time to research, or I want to read on a topic or do more research on something that has to do with Pinterest. I will schedule that on my calendar. If I want to review my week, I schedule that on my calendar. Reflection, rest. Then when am I going to, if I'm resting, how long is my rest and when do I resume? All these things are put down. I'm not going to let it happen by accident, because if we don't do that, everything is just going to happen by accident. Now, let's talk to the reason we're here, content creation. What do you need to do? You first of all need to understand that you have a little bit more control of your calendar in a way. You now review the calendar and then you review your goals, review calendar for the month, specifically for that month. If you have templates and you've not added your logo and all these things to them in advance, add your logo, social media handles and websites to all the templates that you have. So when it's time to create, all you're doing is just putting the points and the text. What are templates, you may wonder? So I'm talking about when you have to create designs. So for example, if I was creating content or a design on social media and I was using the Instagram part, these are templates, and we're going to do a little bit of creating today. So these are templates. In advance, I will take time for the month to ensure that the templates I want to use, I have edited them to suit my brand. So it's not when I want to create that I start doing that. So for example, this one is a simple one. Do this before you sleep. I will search for what I need to create. So if it's a list, sometimes you buy these templates. I'm just getting a few templates here that can be used. I type the keyword into the search bar, and then things come out that I can just recreate. So what I want you to do before you even start doing anything is edit them to ensure that they are in line with your brand. For now, I'm doing a minimalistic theme. I'm using just white and black for my page. So I will change it to white and black. So I can just change this. If I change here to black, and I can just change all the purples to black, it changes that. But then I also have to ensure that I have edited this to say dkjonah.com, add my logo and add everything. Prepare your templates before you start. And you should just prepare your templates quarterly or monthly. Edit what you want to edit from it, remove what you want to remove from it. So I'm going to go back to the presentation. Now I said check the calendar for the month. We're preparing content for March. So in the month of March, my step 2 is simple. What are my obligations? What obligations do I have? Do I have appointments? Do I have a course? Am I going on a podcast? What are the obligations I have? I list them out. What are the events that are happening in my industry that I can be part of? What is the theme for the month? Not just for me, but for every single person. I start thinking about it from that perspective, and I'm able to understand that in March, for example, I'm not going to go into all the details for what March has. Does March have any holiday? As a brand, think about it. Do I have any offers? Am I selling any product? Write it down. Are there products that, oh, the weather is changing? Maybe people will need cardigans. It's winter. If you sell winter cardigans, then get them ready. If it's Valentine's Day, you are already getting your Valentine gifts ready. So you think about the events, the trends, the offers, and the holidays. Now, let's go to month. The month of March is Women's History Month. 8th of March is International Women's Day. So I already know that now as I'm planning for March. I need to do the next thing. I need to define my focus for the month, the theme for the month, and any key dates. I didn't list all the key dates. The whole month is about International Women. It's about women's history. The celebration lasts from the 1st to the 31st. I then look at my brand. Are there things my brand wants to do? Are there videos I would like to create in line with this theme so that I can talk about women? Oh, if I'm a sports brand, are there women in sports that have not been recognized that I can recognize? Fantastic. Are there female podcasters that I can talk about? Okay. Who are the female if you're a personal stylist, who are the female designers that people need to you want to put the spotlight on? But the theme for this year is now breaking the bias, whether deliberate or unconscious. The bias makes it difficult for women to move ahead. Knowing that bias exists is not enough. Action is needed to level the playing field. You can play devil's advocate and say the playing field can never be leveled. If you want to go on the offensive, and say, oh, women and men are both needed in society, but they both have different roles. But elevate women this month, the month that you're going into. Are there women in your field that have done something? Or even yourself, how can you empower women with your page? How can you break this bias that exists with the content that you create? Just take a couple of days in the month. You can do it only on Tuesday, the 8th of March, or you can do something every Wednesday this month. I mean, I'm saying this month. When I use this month, please, it's in March. And I'll recommend that you're writing down as we are going. So it makes you have a focus for the month. The focus is Women's History Month. The theme of the month is breaking the bias. Then the main date is 8th of March. You can do something every Wednesday. That just gives you this thing, something to do. I remember I said, note how many Wednesdays there are in the month of March. I said, write how many Mondays you have for the month. Repeat this for every day of the week. So in March, someone should help me. How many Mondays do we have? How many Tuesdays do we have? How many Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? That would help you plan your content when you know how many of these days you have. For example, if you do Man Crush Monday or Mentoring Mondays or Marketing Mondays, you know that you have 5 Mondays or 4 Mondays, but you know in advance. You're not waiting to the last minute to find out, oh, I have another Monday this month. You have to know these things when you're planning. So take a screenshot of this page because I'm not sharing the slides, and do these things. Review your calendar first. Do I have any obligations that I have not done from last month that are coming into this month? Oh, I said I was going to read 3 books and publish a blog post. I was going to send a proposal to this person. I did not send it. Take all those things, carry them over to March and start working in March. All right, so we've said Women's History Month. I said women should be given equal opportunities, and we talked about imagine a gender equal world. So I know I have to create graphics, I have to do illustrations and concepts for corporate materials. I know this in advance. But when I'm creating content, this is what I want us to do before we do a little content creation. I want you to get started by having that foundation, knowing what you sell, what makes you different, knowing what's your top selling products are for this month. That's how you get started. You have to understand that you figure it out as you go, but you have to start somewhere. Decide where you want to start from and continue. The most important thing is that you don't stop, that after today, you don't stop posting, you start posting, and don't be afraid to experiment. What we're going to be recommending is doing quite a lot of videos. So I'm going to see a lot of you experimenting with the 90-day clarity plan and seeing how you can create content that will reach your audience. I will talk a little bit about TikTok and videos when I talk about videos, but be patient with yourself. People are not engaging, keep on doing it. Remember, I said reflect, look at it and keep on doing it. Reflect, but resume. Don't rest, then say, now the day is over, I'm not doing anymore. It's about reflecting and resuming. And I mentioned I was going to talk a little bit about videos. All social media platforms are asking us to do more videos. And one platform I have absolutely fallen in love with is TikTok. And I think everybody needs to be on TikTok. When you get on TikTok, don't go on TikTok and start creating immediately. Observe so you can see what you're drawn to and how you want to create your own TikTok. But start with short form videos. These are like videos that tell people why they should care. They're under 2 to 30 minutes, 2 minutes to 30 seconds, sorry. They are considered short-term videos. So they are short videos, short attention span. Some of them are even 15 seconds, but there are some videos that just get your attention. That's what you want to try and do. Short videos that can be your point of view, showing you unboxing your products, showing how you get ready for the gym. If you're going to play football, this is what happens after football. My legs are hurt. How do you treat yourself? Showing behind the scenes of what you do. What we do with your short form video is you're lifting the veil. They are informal. They are videos that are not too serious. If it show you working on a laptop, it can show you packing an order for somebody. Someone placed an order. You package it and put it in the box. Oh, this is how we pack our orders. You show people how you put your packages together. How do you decide? How do you style people? How do you show people what suits them? All these little videos that bring people into your world. Why TikTok works is the platform encourages the users to be as creative as they can be, to engage as much as they want to. And that's what you want to do. Short form videos. Then long form videos are more like going live. They are like videos that are more edited. They have a mid roll. Some of them support ads. You're looking at YouTube and live videos. Yes, you can start doing that, but start using your stories and telling stories. Don't just use your stories to spy on people and not communicate, but use your stories to tell stories. And I always talk about this when we are creating content, but I want to end with this before we do something brief. Consistency is not about showing up every day. It's about, I like the way this person put it. She said, I believe consistency should not have several metrics placed on it. I believe consistency is simply showing up as much as our inner peace can take and as much as we give ourselves the grace to share. What do you want to make the commitment to today? Do you want to show up for yourself 5 minutes every day and read something, create something, do something? Or do you want to wait till the perfect time before you start? Start, don't stop. Rest, don't stop. Keep on moving. Be consistent, because most times we post and we don't see anything for 1 day or 1 week and we want to give up. That's not what content is. If content should speak to us, it will tell you to share your story. It will tell you to post. It will tell you that there are people that want to hear from you, but we are afraid to put ourselves out there. We talk about people that have grown. Oh, I don't have the right camera. I don't have some of the videos that go viral on TikTok. They did not intend to go viral. They were just authentic. And that's what I want you to do. If you teach people, be authentic about your process. Is it easy to do what you're doing? No. but are you taking people on the process behind the scenes to let them know how you do what you want to do? That's the way it should be done. So we've mentioned a couple of things, and 2 tools I use for creating. One is Canva and another is Google Docs. Canva is free, Google Docs is free. I like Google Docs because I can just access it on my phone and I can access it anywhere I want to. I don't need to download any fancy equipment to use Canva and use Google Docs. So this is how I start. What I know my plan. I know the theme for the month. I know what I want to sell. So for example, I am selling planners. That's what I want to sell. And my theme for the month is getting things done. That's to avoid procrastination. I already know these 2 things. You need to know what you want to sell and what you want to talk about. I will say, don't just post about what you sell. Make it a mixture of different things. Now that you know a little bit more about your content plan, it's now to implement the plan. It's not enough to have a plan. You need to implement it, execute it, do what you said you will do, take action. So my tools are Canva and Google Docs. On Google Docs, I do a brain dump. So sometimes my brain dump is a different way. You can do brain dump of ideas that you have and think about the type of content that you want to create. So I have said that I want to create static posts on Canva. There's just the posts that are pictures only or quotes, and videos. Those are 2 types of posts I want to create. I want to create some short videos, but in order to do those videos, I have to plan what I want to say on those videos. So the next thing I do is I come up with a list of ideas of what I want to talk about. And I can now do a brain dump. So one thing I want to talk about is time-saving habits. I can talk about time-saving habits. As a professional post that talks about that. This is what we call a value-added post. I can also talk about how to not run out of content ideas. We can take someone's brand as an example as usual, but think about the topics that you want to talk about. I can talk about my favorite productivity podcast. I am on Solve, so where have I been a guest? Solve appearance. I can share the platforms I've been a guest. And all these things will now be what I will post. So I haven't started posting yet. I'm just saying this. So I've said I have 1 appearance or 2 appearances this month. So these are dates, events. If I have public speaking, I put that down. So normally I have a table for this, but I'm just showing you that even without a table, you can do this. So dates, events, public speaking. I have a podcast appearance. I need to promote it like 3 times. I am a guest on a podcast. 2 podcasts, and I'm going live with someone on the 14th of March. I will know the dates that I'm going live. I note this down. Why am I noting everything down? So that I know what I have to do and I am not just waiting to the last minute. So it's not, oh, I'm going to be on someone's podcast tomorrow. I haven't promoted it since, like me and the person have agreed. We have planned. For your own, it's different. But what I want you to do is this. Keep a database of ideas of pre-conceptualized topics. So I talk about people's mindsets. So I talk about content creation. I talk about getting things done. I already know the topics I talk about. So I already have some topics written down that I may talk about in the future, but you need to have a database. The next thing you need to determine is your commitment when you're creating content. How often do you want to post? How often do you want to make money? How often do you want to sell? Do you want to make money every day, or don't you want to make money every day? Do you want to engage with people every day? Do you have the capacity to do this? I then think about what else. So I'm like, okay, I want to post something on my feed. I have 4 blog posts for the month. I want to host a Q&A session, every single thing I want to do. So I want to create content. I will not forget that I want to create content that is not boring, but inspires and entertains, but without me being the joker. So I might share memes, I might share different funny things that can make people laugh, because people are on social media to relax before I now start creating. Then I look at all the platforms I am on. How many carousel posts do I want to create? I decide that. How many written posts do I want to have? I decide that. All this is decided in advance. I assign a day that I will create. I assign a day that I would research. So I do all that, but I want to ensure that I have my schedule working for me. Your content calendar is going to be a combination of different things, not just one thing. So we did one earlier, and I'm just going to show you what I have done for the brand. For me, is it here? All right. This is a simple calendar that we did for unlocking. We said, okay, there are 7 days in the week. Out of the 7 days in the week, there are different topics that we want to talk about. So this is for an agency, a consultancy agency that caters to small businesses. So before you start, think about who you are and who you cater to. So if you're a business agency that caters to small businesses, what do small businesses need? They need tips on how to do their marketing. They need tips on how to do social media. They need tips on how to ensure that their finances are in order, about customer service. So we created a calendar that takes everything into consideration in advance. We said marketing, social media, financial, customer service, entertainment, startup. So this is a weekly calendar. Then we said, okay, for every week, we'll pick one topic and then we will talk about it from different perspectives. So if we're looking at questions or business facts, we're going to look at questions people are asking with the content calendar, objections they could raise at all, the problems they are facing, their needs, and then we may look at a conversation starter if it's a 5-week brand. So we can pick any of these topics, and let's pick accounting, because most small businesses don't take care of their accounts. So a question they can be asking is, when do I start paying tax? That's one question for 1 week, and it's for your day that you're talking about accounting. So we've picked the financial one, which is their Wednesday content. So this week 1 of that Wednesday is going to be on when do I start paying tax? Objections. I do not need to pay myself, or I do not need an accountant. People that run small businesses, what do you think they will object to having a separate business account? Oh, I don't need a business account. A business account is not important to me. A problem they are facing is managing their books. Yes, does someone want to say something? Their needs could be financial tips. So what we now will do is, for when do I start paying tax, you have to consider the country, and then you create a content that will answer that question of when should I pay my tax, or when does the tax year end? Answer that specific question. I do not need to pay myself. You can recommend a book like Profit First, or take a book like Profit First that talks about paying yourself first. Oh, I'm having difficulty managing my book. Oh, I have a template that you can use. Or yeah, 5 tips to ensure that you manage your books. Have separate accounts for separate things. okay, what can I do as a small business? How can I get a loan? You faced a need, but you've answered only one aspect of the content calendar, which is the Wednesday aspect of accounting. And you repeat the circle over and over again. You now say, okay, I want to give social media tips or talk about social media on another day. And then you take that circle and you repeat it. And the reason we're doing it 4 times is 4 weeks. We are taking this aspect and breaking it into 4 weeks. If you want to use your brand for an example, we can also try it with your brand. But one topic or one subject or one topic, whichever one you refer to it as, and breaking it into bite-sized content that can be carried for a month and just repeating the circle. But it's about giving yourself and creating that time to do it. Create the time to create what you want. Create it. Please publish. In our draft, most of us create, but we don't publish and we don't even reflect on what we've done. So you have to ensure that you are hitting publish regularly and putting yourself out there. But like I said, it's about being consistent. Decide by yourself today, what's going to be my obligation? What will I be consistent with? Where do I see myself in the next couple of months when it comes to creating my content? What do I want to do? And I will pause here to see if anyone has questions before I close for today. Does anyone have any questions or objections or need clarification in any area? Okay, Anthony and Emma, you're muted.
Why am I unmuted? Why are we unmuted? Should I mute myself?
No, I thought you had questions. That's what I'm asking. All right.
Oh.
Okay. So another thing you need to do is you have to repurpose your content. Take a screenshot of this page. You don't need to use one content once and then abandon it. You have to repurpose your content. So what I want us to think about doing is, what have your best performing posts been? Audit your existing content. What have people been relating with? What were the ones that didn't do well? How can you recreate those ones also? You have to repurpose content to your own advantage. And sometimes you have what you call content that is evergreen. Create evergreen content, and that is content that you can use over and over again. For example, if you have a product that you sell, that can be an evergreen content. You don't need to create a new design anytime you have to post about it. You just need to use the same template over and over again. So it's about repurposing content. I think during one of the co-working sessions, we will talk more about repurposing content, because I think it's something that we neglect. When we post it, we just run away and we don't do anything with it. We're just like, I've finished. I don't need to, I've posted it. No, review and repurpose. You can present it in a different format. If you presented it as a single post, present it as a carousel, present it as a video with a voiceover. Do something different to your content. Take a piece of, maybe you went live before and you mentioned 5 points. List those 5 points as a carousel post. Listen to videos that someone has done. Pick out quotes from it and repurpose it as a different format. But take the content you are creating and repurpose it. Don't just post once and say, I've posted and I am gone. All right. Just to recap, we're creating content because we want to sell every day. You need to give people a reason to trust you. But if you don't trust yourself and you don't know why someone should trust you, why will they trust you? So know why people should trust you. What makes you credible? Know why people should buy from you. Why they should buy at the price you're selling and not any other price. And understand that every single thing you're doing now is building up to your own business success. It's not about having 10 million people that are responding to you, but you want a situation where even if you have 50 followers, those people respond, engage, and interact with you and trust what you are saying, because it may take just one person sharing your post for your post to reach the person that needs your attention. So if you don't have any questions now, I will end today's session. But before we go, we mentioned that this is the last free learn to earn routes that we're doing. We are moving to something else, and we have a course coming out that is it's on the link in my bio already. So if you just go to the link in my bio, you'll see the link for the course that's coming out. And what's this course going to tell you how to do? For those that are struggling with content creation on their own, we have an accountability group where we meet daily. This is the time we actually meet to create content and get work done. But if you're having struggles and you want a course that will take you through content creation, or do your content yourself, or you have a social media manager that you want to send on the course, you can send them on this course that we've created that will give you the tips and tricks that teaches you how to manage your clients, manage your time, manage your resources, and use the right tools to help you create content. The course runs from the 28th of March. I think the registration ends on the 25th. Yes, registration ends on the 25th. The course starts on the 28th. On the 27th, you get your welcome email and everything, and it officially starts on the 28th. But what I love about the way we've created this course is we have simplified it and made it in a way that it would help you manage the brands that you are managing in a proper way. And if you think you know anyone that will benefit from it, please click the link in my bio on Instagram, or I can share the link in the group and you will be able to have access to the course. Does anyone have any questions before we call it a day? All right. Okay, so I'll conclude with this. Create time to rest. Creativity comes from a place of rest. You can't force yourself to be creative. Creativity flows out from you naturally. Yes, it takes time, it takes work, it takes lots of practice. Don't start and stop. Be consistent. Just keep putting yourself out there. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just allow yourself, give yourself permission to practice and make mistakes. One thing with the accountability group is you have opportunities to ask questions, and you have opportunities to speak with other people that are also creating content and have been creating content for a while. But always find time to rest. Schedule time, your downtime this week. Today is just Tuesday, so you have enough time to schedule your downtime. The recording for this is on YouTube. I'm going to stop the recording now, and I don't want it to contain any other thing that we say. So I'm just going to